Hello and welcome to another episode of Stanton Gossip, where Mr. Mascust and me, Just Chag, talk about so much content that comes out weekly about Star Citizen. What's funny?
Oh
It,
yeah, nothing. Yeah, so much content. There has been
I mean, usually
so
it
much
does.
content.
Usually it does. Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. This week there was almost nothing, and I don't think anyone who is following Star Citizen is surprised by this because there's just nothing happening for such a long time. But you had a really busy week at work training
Yeah, well,
a new Padawan, which made you not able to listen to a lot of it.
well,
So
yeah.
kind of
It's like I
clicked in,
came
right?
in, I messaged today. I was like, "Chag, I got nothing for gossip tonight. Like
I was like, I got
I
you.
haven't had a chance to like watch any videos. I was in the
Yeah,
office and then I was training and I got nothing. And it turns out
there
there
is
just is
nothing.
nothing. So
Yeah. I mean,
like
some things did come out. Some things that we don't even have to mention that often unless something crazy. Even like if you watch, like we always do, and even you did watch Answer the Call. It's
yeah.
just not.
Yeah.
It's just not like And then later Mike's weekly whatever.
I
It's
know that
very
yeah, well,
almost
that's
depressing. You
it.
know what I mean?
It really is, and I mean, I know we say that we talk about Salty Mike's channel too much, but dude, I don't know if I've ever seen him so low on an ATC
Yeah. I mean,
before.
he's. I would say passively probably he's kind of afraid because this is the problem of streaming. And like living of making a streaming career, content creator career off of one game. And I told you before this, I went back to streaming Elder Scrolls Online after such a long time, like a year, and I'm
Mhm.
already seeing like uphill. I can stream for 10 hours a day because there's things to do. The game works and all that. This is not like pro Elder Scrolls Online. It's just like pro a working game compared to an alpha. Testing, which in the end we really do play an alpha game when it comes to Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Anyways, we did come up with a couple of things. One that I would say you guys should listen to is Astropub's Captain's Table. Again, something we mention every now and then. I think it's again one of
With
the pillars
me.
with Maso. So the main topic was Redeemer, but you guys talked about so many things.
Well, the main topic was technically, events and stuff like that. It's like,
Oh, because
'cause
he
'cause they
he he used Redeemer as a clickbait.
I know because he does that because
No,
he's
that's
got a
fair.
hate
It's
on for the Redeemer, and
yeah.
it makes people angry and it gets some rage clicks.
Yeah, and both of them did not like Redeemer. You were the only one. Like I was
Mm-mm.
there. I usually don't. I'm usually not watching it live, but yeah, we had
Dog
a
likes the Redeemer because he's an Aegis fanboy and he likes all things Aegis.
even the Redeemer. Didn't he like? He was like, I don't know. There
Well,
were so many better things, and they
mm,
chose a Redeemer. No, no, you gotta listen to that episode,
okay,
brother.
so, yeah, that's true, but he didn't know about that until Paul pointed it out.
True. But
Yeah.
interesting episode. Quite a long one with the second part of like Q&A. Take a look, see or listen. Not bad at all.
Oh, and if you came over here from Paul's channel,
Thank
hi,
you. It's
thanks.
not the
It's
first
good to see you
time
guys.
Paul, even though I have to say, because the way I am, I sometimes say things that I feel like or think, and people get upset. But I gotta say, even though Paul did not like some things that I've said publicly, he I guess understands that. It's just, I don't have anything against him as a human being or even content creator, but like, I'm just, in my eyes, it's nice that even after that back and forth, he still is willing to support other content creator and whatnot. It's admirable, and I salute to that. Um, yeah. So the link in the description, of course. He started something else which I really enjoyed, and I really did not think I'm gonna enjoy, and that was Lore
Mhm.
Citizen podcast. This is a new thing. It's him, Algarid, and again, sorry, What's the third guy's name? I always forget.
Jail.
The only reason, and I apologize, the only reason is I don't know this guy from anywhere else. He's not a new
Yeah.
face in Star Citizen, but I think he was more proactive when I was not part of the game.
I
Or
don't recognize
I
him
don't know.
either, but I did hear that he's got a YouTube channel or something. I have yet to check it
Oh,
out.
I gotta check that as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the link to that may be in the video
Yeah,
description
for
of
sure.
the Lore Citizen podcast.
I can
I
add it
just
to
was
our description as well.
yeah.
Why not? I really love it. They changed it to an offline format, which I am more a fan of, and there's no camera, nothing. It's three of them talking about lore. And I am not a huge fan of info runners, as you guys know already. They do some things right, like they're the best at min maxing the website game, but I don't think they play the game enough to understand what's happening, which we talked about in last episode of Stanton. But holy crap, Algaid knows a lot about lore, which you pointed out. He is a history teacher, just like Paul, and
I don't know if he's a history
oh,
teacher, but
he's a
he is a
teacher.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and to be fair, three voices, very calm podcast. It's
Yeah.
I clicked and I was like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Can't wait for the next episode.
I like it too. I got into it a bit in the comments a bit about how I'm not a big fan of Star Citizen's lore in general.
Sure.
Not that I think it's bad necessarily. I just feel like they miss a lot of opportunities to do some really cool and unique stuff while still keeping it, excuse me, like relatable from a science fiction perspective. So but it was still I agree with you. It was still really interesting and I'm actually pretty stoked for the next one. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I do give Star Citizen a bit of a leeway here because just like everything else, lore is in alpha kind of, and we know that they're
Yeah,
still changing things. Like we talked about how
true.
much they changed Pyro, like lore just that is now around the corner, and
It's more the core of what they're building the narrative off of though that I just yeah, I don't know. They just fall back on sci-fi tropes instead of doing something interesting with it. And
for sure,
that's
and
yeah.
kind of stealing Roman Empire,
Oh
and
yeah,
whatnot. But
yeah.
a lot of games do that. It's just
I know they do. It's just, like
the
it's
flavor
not
matters, though.
often you get a brand new IP like this, like brand new universe to, to craft out and have this sort of a following that's this into it already, you know what I mean? And for them to not have taken some chances when the project as a whole is basically all about taking chances was a little
Mm.
bit disappointing for me. That's all. I'm still interested in it, and I'm still
Maybe
like,
they're hiding that part.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
I think Paul mentioned that actually on Captain's Table. I think, thinking that that maybe there's a lot more to it potentially that they just don't want to.
Mm.
Oh no, sorry, that was in his Discord channel the
Yeah,
other
I don't
day.
remember that, man.
Yeah. So I think it was that, and then and he suspects that there very well may be a lot that they're kind of keeping on under wraps because they don't want to spoil Squadron 42 or anything like that. But
Yeah, because Quarter
yeah,
42 is
I don't know.
basically lore.
And again, to be clear, it's not that I hate the lore, and it's not like I'm like, ah, this sucks and I don't want to play it. It's like it's just more of like a I from what we've seen so far, I just wish they went a little bit further with some of these ideas. That's all.
Fair enough. All right, we had Morphologies video this week, which is always great. Beautiful thing. And it's about the ship that I like, and majority of people don't like. However, flavor of the month, Andromeda, or rather Constellation, is it's kind of funny. I've seen some content creators playing it on stream, and they're like, "Oh, they changed this," and I'm like, "Yeah, how long ago?" and
Yeah.
someone even saying, "Oh, they must have changed the struts." I don't remember who the streamer was, but like they must have changed the struts. They're not that bad anymore. It's funny how we like create excuses for ourselves because that's a content creator who
Yep.
was shitting all over Andromeda, and I'm like, you know what? fuck you, dude. They did not change the struts, and they're not
Yeah.
that bad. It's still enjoyable to fly.
It's just you have less of a like a tainted view of it now,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, because there's
Yeah.
something else that you're having fun with.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
this.
frankly,
Sorry, go for it.
okay.
No, no,
Well,
go for it.
I was just gonna jump into struts and just say anybody who's mad about struts, get over it. Like it's not that bad. It really isn't.
I you guys touched on it on Captain's Table, and I added in the comments, I think, where people underestimate how we're switching ships a lot, especially I do. But if you're flying the same ship, like one of the ships that has really bad struts is, if I'm not wrong, Hawk. It doesn't have the greatest view, but I fly it so much that I don't even notice struts anymore.
I don't need I mean maybe it's because I drive commercial trucks and commercial trucks have like, you know, like
Yeah,
large pillars and stuff like that, but I just like I look past them. I don't even see them. And it's the
true,
same thing in
true.
Star Citizen and even in the Freelancer, which has like arguably the worst
I
cockpit
love
view
that
of
cockpit.
any
Goddamn.
ship, I have never felt like I've been impeded by that. And it's just a question of kind of like looking past it, visualizing where your ship is in space. Like you don't need a bubble cockpit. We're not, you know, like we're not trying to spot targets visually from, you know,
Well,
30
well, I
kilometers
would say
away or
if you
whatever.
are
So
doing exploration or something like that, then maybe, you know what I mean? If you're
I don't
trying to
know.
visually, well, I can see
If you're
that,
doing
you know.
exploration, you're probably more using your sensors than anything else. But I just think people make way too big a deal about struts, and I can guarantee you the struts aren't the reason you got shot down. You got shot down because you suck. I'll just
Well, the
go out there
truth
and
is,
say it.
Andromeda is really not good as well, right?
Yes.
It has shield holes. The turrets are disgusting. The
Sure, sure,
handling
sure.
was gross. So that's
I'm not defending the
okay. Like in
constellation
general.
necessarily.
Okay, okay,
Just
okay.
saying struts. If
Yeah,
people are upset about struts, that's on you, bud. Like I can tell you for a fact, it's not the struts that are making you lose fights.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think people are more like uncomfortable with them. Like you'd like to see more, but then there are ships that are just like beautiful for that, right? If
I
you just want to go
guess.
fly around and explore, get the fucking Mantis. You know what I mean? Like it has beautiful cockpit. It's useless. But if you want to go around and look, hey, or I don't know, Sen, or you know, like
Yeah,
there's some beautiful cockpits there with no struts. All right, so
sure.
Morphologies did
Tangent.
a video. Yeah, Morphologies did a video on Constellation. Obviously, very detailed, amazing cinematography, if I can call it that. However, uh, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but his question is it finally there? And the answer is no, it's not, because nothing really changed because we fly our ships on our own. But then he does go into he played it with other people, and he had people in turrets and someone in Merlin, and they were doing it together, and it was a lot of fun. And I can see how that's a thing. It would be fun. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to go out in my Retaliator with like 5 gunners and me flying around and launching torps. But guess what? These people could be in their own ships, right? So I'm
Yep.
not buying
Yep.
that story. Aurora is better than a turret in the Andromeda in any way. Um,
Yeah, basically.
Crossfire, its own shield generators, everything. Like it's just better solution,
Well,
and it's better gameplay for a person who's like sitting in the turret, right?
wait. I guess so, but correct me if I'm wrong. What are the gun mount sizes of the
Four size
Aurora? They're
one,
size ones.
four
Well, the
gable size
turrets,
one.
okay, 4 size 1 versus 2 size
Yeah,
2s.
what about maneuverability? Like you are so these turrets on Andromeda are
Yeah.
absolutely gross, and they're size
They
2 on a ship that has 2 size 5 and 2 size 4. Come on,
mhm.
you're
Yep.
like not impossible.
I'm
Like
not gonna defend them, but I'm just saying
I love the
like
ship, but
armament
these turrets
wise.
are stupid. And here's my solution to this.
I think they were the first turrets, now that I think about it.
There might have been no freelancer, no.
I think Constellation was before Freelancer.
Whoa, okay, I don't know this. This is before my time. I have a solution to this that is not new. I am not, you know, this is not a five-head moment or anything, but just let people buy a pledge without a ship. And all of a sudden, if you don't have a ship, guess what? Flying in that constellation using someone's Merlin or a turret is more fun
Yeah.
than not flying a ship until you buy it in game. You know what I mean?
Yes, right now, for sure. Um, but to be fair to the devs, they do know that the multiplayer, the multi-crew experience is not at a level where it justifies putting people in multi-crew over individual ships. But that is something that they are intending to address. How they do that, that remains to be seen.
Good luck
But
on that.
like, yeah, but yeah, actually, like a legitimately good luck because I hope they succeed somehow,
Oh, for sure. I would love that.
but
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, this is kind of a tangent and imagine, but like if you had, you know how you have reputations, but we don't have leveling in the game. But like if you had like
Mm.
tasks as a gunner of a turret that will allow you to get something if you're really good at, your daily 100 kills from a turret
Mm.
that you don't have to do, but if you do it, you get something in return. Why not? Or
Well,
something like that.
I know that you were against the idea of player ratings last episode, but like they could break player ratings into those sorts of individual kind of tasks too. Player ratings as an engineer, player ratings as a turret gunner, player ratings as a pilot, player ratings as a, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And even though, sure, some
If the
players might
game gives
troll
me a
you.
rating, I agree. If
Hmm.
another player gives me a rating, I'm not in.
You know what though? Okay, fair enough. They could actually probably make the game do that too. Now that I think about it, because like if you basically if they design the group system in such a way that, like, how, and I'm going to use WoW again because it's the MMO that we both know, but like how like you sign up as like tank, healer,
Yeah,
DPS, whatever. Well, what if like if there was a similar sort of a system for when you're crewing a ship? So it's like
yeah.
you're like
Preferred
registering
role or
yourself as
whatever.
I was a turret gunner
Yeah,
or I was an engineer, and then like the missions you complete, under
sure.
that role give you
And you can
enhanced.
apply for a group in a
This should be an
bar. So
imagination station. What
yeah,
are
we
we
can do that.
doing?
No, it's fine. We're just scratching it, and then you can utilize Chris Roberts' fantasy of a bar, where you can your LFG can be a bar actually, or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And you're there, and like your CV or whatever is
Yeah,
basically available, and they can see, oh, this guy's completed 47
exactly.
missions as an engineer.
10,000 kills in a turret, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or whatever.
yeah.
All right, we can leave that for Stanton. For straight out Stanton. If you guys think that's a good topic, throw comment. I guess. Um. All right. So where to look? It's like 10-minute video. It's morphologist.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
It's looking amazing. His voice is great. His ideas are good. It's not. I'm not dissing this video by any in any way. It's just like my vision of that, and I'm not. I can't say. Of course they had fun, right?
Yeah,
Of course they had fun.
yeah.
I'm just saying
It's not
it's not
it's
optimal.
not
That's
as
all.
competitive. Yeah,
And it
exactly.
doesn't
It's not
have to be
optimal.
optimal.
Yeah.
To be fair, it doesn't. If you're having fun, you're doing it right. But that
True.
does not
Yeah.
answer the question of is Constellation there? It's not.
Yeah.
I love that ship. I like many people, and I can't say it is, but yeah, it's better than it was. That's for sure.
The reason I diss on the Constellation so much? It's because I did love that ship.
Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you something. Phoenix now, in my eyes, has so much more value, and I wanted to get it before because it's not that big of a difference. But that bar and open windows and everything, I just love that. But the window seats in Constellation now work. You can sit next to a window with the card, card tables and all that next to the, bar, and then you have
Couldn't sit in them anymore? I thought you could.
you couldn't sit in these since I started playing the game,
Oh, okay.
and
I
now you
didn't know that.
can, and I'm like, yes, I can sit next to a window, and someone can fly me around. I know it's stupid, or I can jump a ship. Orchid has Constellation, and he would jump from point A to point B. I would be in the ship, and I would look through the window while we're going through the quantum
Yeah.
jump. I don't have windows in real life. I have only roof windows. I miss them. When I work on board cruise ships, we don't have windows. If we're lucky, we get the porthole. Usually not. So for me, a window is a big thing, man. Like I don't know. All right, Space Tomato did a short one on something I did not know exists, but then he mentions that it was a thing before. Frozen lakes on Yella.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
basically, it's a really nice video. No, go for it. I didn't know anything about this. I thought it's a new thing.
Well, N I don't think it was, but what I think they probably added was the, reflectivity shader to it
Yes.
because they weren't so visible before.
Maybe they were more of like a concept art or something. I don't know. This is just like out of I don't remember what he
I
said,
don't know.
but looks good. He did some testing on it. He loves Planet Tech. Like Tomato
Yeah,
really loves Planet Tech. It gives him, which makes sense.
which
It gives
yeah,
him,
dude, I
right?
get it.
Yeah. If you're like, and he really takes good care of his shots and editing, just like Morph. um, a little bit from a different perspective, but still very high quality production. And it's really nice. They tested. What was really disturbing to me is like they sound like you're walking on the snow, not on the ice. But I guess that can be changed later or whatever. It looks dope. I love lakes, man. I was when I
Could
saw
be a layer of snow over the ice
could
too,
be, but
though I
it's
guess you
still
wouldn't be getting that reflection if it
that's one
wasn't.
thing, and then you probably want that crunching noise of the ice to keep you on your toes, even though you know you can't fall through. But
Plus,
would be
it's
kind of cool.
yellow. Like,
Yeah.
that ice is probably about a kilometer thick.
Yeah. And I hope that actually there's some water. When I saw the thumbnail and video, he got me baited. I mean, I would click on it anyways. It's
I
tomato, but
don't I don't think Yella I'll have to look at it, but I
it
don't
probably
think
is not
Yella is actually
possible.
frozen water ice. I think it's well, maybe it is.
I don't know.
But at those temperatures, frozen water ice is basically rock.
Yeah,
It's like about as hard as granite. Like
I just want more water. You know what I mean? Like I just
yes,
want
yeah,
more water. I
100%.
love it.
Well, you're gonna get your wish for sure. I mean, there's boat physics for fuck's
I
sakes.
know. Can't wait. All right. So the next one. Okay. So that's basically it. There were no. We like shouting out like smaller content creators. I really did not find anything. I'm pretty sure people just. It's hard, man. It's hard. Like these are hardworking content creators that need to do week to week, and they have some backlog and whatnot, right? It's like years of experience and work. Like Mike, like Morph, like Tomato, like it's different thing. um, so it's hard to be inspired when the game is stalling. Hopefully, I am. Someone had a video last week, "Calm Before the Storm" or something like that, Super Magpie Ryan or whatever. But I'm hoping for something like that, but I don't have my hopes too high. So
For me, this whole drought is like it's normal. The first patch of the I mean, even though like even Mike was saying like this does feel a little worse than normal, but
yeah,
the first patch of the year is always this way.
we
You
talked
know,
about this a lot. I think the only
yeah,
reason we feel worse is because we had an
you had
upscale in
something. Yeah.
content, just like it was gone.
Yeah.
Everything, desync,
Yeah.
things to
But
do,
like
yeah,
but
everything.
really like I'm crossing my fingers and just basically just waiting for 314 now because like again,
That's
the
so far.
314 the second quarter of the year is always the exciting patch, that and the next patch afterwards. And there's genuinely some exciting tech like that comes there even if the entire game stays the same, but that cargo refactor makes it in, that is going to change a ton.
Yeah.
But
Although we need 30K
yeah,
protection for that, but yeah.
no, well, yes, but I mean, well, this could also probably be a this
Of course it can.
straight out of standard topic, but like, but like, as soon as you have movable cargo, as in you can take it off of your grid and put it somewhere else,
I know,
now
I know.
there's piracy.
But yeah,
Now
but
there's real
I mean,
piracy. Like
this literally is straight out of Stanton because I'll counter you there because now someone who is cargo hauling has to fight uh
30Ks and
30Ks
pirates.
and the actual piracy because there's gonna be more
True.
pirates in that patch than cargo haulers.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
yeah, then it has to be like really lucrative in order for people to do it, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be a shit show. So,
Yeah.
but hey, I mean, let's go.
But it would
You got to start
admit it.
somewhere.
You have to admit it would really
It
shake
would change
things
the
up.
game. It would change the game, like straight up, like
Yeah.
a lot. All right, so since
So
we're lacking content, kind of, there's a bonus video for you guys that I enjoyed. It's a content creator that I watch on regular. He's explaining current, mostly Navy ships, and his usual name or thumbnail is not what you would think. So something seems so logical and then it's completely different.
mhm,
However, this one is very, very educational video about like Navy ships classification, and
totally.
um, and
I
it's
do think
so on
that
point,
crosses
right?
over. Yeah, I do think that like even though this isn't Star Citizen, I do think there's like some crossover
Yeah,
in insofar as like what the titles of the different classes of ships, so like
yeah.
frigates versus destroyers versus carriers, etc. Um,
It's so
yeah,
funny, like uh, when you know the classes of the ships, right? And you look at something like Idris, and someone tells you that's a frigate, and you're like, "Ooh, frigates are big, bro. Frigates are boats. Like
yep,
frigates are really small
hey,
ships,
tiny,
tiny compared to the rest of the fleet."
yeah,
Which gives you another perspective. And like, this is what I've been crying about. Like, the ships are not big enough. Daga 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 yada yada yada. But like, when you think like, even they are saying, and that's like in my mind, okay, that's a frigate. I'm okay with that. Well, where's your cruiser? Where's your battle cruiser? Where's your fucking battleship in space? You know what I mean?
I wonder if we'll get the battleships, especially after he kind of shits all over them in this video. Well, just basically says they're
Oh, they're
obsolete. You know?
useless. They're useless in real life and too expensive and
Yeah.
all that. But oh, I talk about this on streams so much. It's so funny. All right, so definitely throw a look if you're interested. It's gonna help you. It's like a
Okay.
general knowledge of ship classes and
Totally.
bleeds into a space game because most of the ships in space games are using that system. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. It
right.
is interesting, and it does cross over to Star Citizen for sure. So
Yeah. It might also explain to why like there are ships and then there are fighter ships that are more of a plane compared
yeah.
to a ship, right? Because ship can
Yeah.
carry
Yeah.
a plane cannot carry a ship, and vice. You know what I mean? Like it's a completely different dynamic and whatnot. It's really cool, very chill video. It's not like military centric. It's more just like explaining how things work. That's
Yeah.
all.
I watched it this morning, and like, yeah, like it's not very long either. What is it, like
No,
15 minutes, 20
yeah, yeah.
minutes, something like that? It's worth your watch for sure.
Okay. And then this is completely different. We mentioned board gamers sometimes, and well, you wanted to mention something about board gamer now.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. We've been talking about the drought, and all I'm basically going to say is, Board Gamer is running out of content when he starts covering leaks.
He's so bored out of his mind. Like, yeah, there's yeah. The latest videos
So
leaks and whatnot. We're not gonna mention that. Like leaks are,
no,
you can check it out. But
just look at Board's channel, you'll see it.
yeah,
We're not going to bother linking it, but yeah,
um, we now have Xenia has morphed into Board Xenia on
on
Twitter.
Twitter. Yep.
Who Xenia is his fellow helper, editor, um, and other things. She records for him now and whatnot. And we both like Xenia's witty jokes and whatnot, so it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to follow her on Twitter. She created a new Twitter account, which is just for Star Citizen and cooperation with Board, called Board Xenia. The link is in the description. Follow her. She's a super cool person, and it's nice to see someone who is not from Star Citizen world getting
Yeah.
into it
Yeah.
and taking it as a job. But also, she's
And
definitely a gamer, so she understands, so much about. But it's a nice
yeah.
perspective.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I have to kind of like renege on a previous Stanton gossip that we had, where I kind of said like, because she didn't know a lot about Star Citizen, these podcasts that they do together kind of felt a little bit like forced.
Yeah.
because it didn't feel like she was interested. But like I have to take that back a little bit. Um,
It
because
still
it's
sounds
clear
like
that
that,
like
but it takes
yeah,
time, right?
yeah, well, and like it's like there's the desire, like you said, she's a gamer. There's that desire to kind of understand the
Yeah.
game, um, but like yeah. Anyway, so I kind of have to take that back because yeah, like it. She definitely has been diving in, and I really, like you said, appreciate her wit and the kind of like dry British sarcastic humor that she brings.
Yeah.
It's really entertaining.
And she's
So
very honest. I like that. Like she
yeah,
shoots to the head. Like she's like, no, that's
well,
stupid. I'm like, okay,
that's
fair.
kind of where I was going. Yeah, with the like like she brings that perspective that's it's not a Star Citizen. She hasn't necessarily drunk the Kool-Aid as much as the rest of us have,
Yeah,
and
especially
she
bored,
just
right?
yeah, she just calls shit out as she sees it. So yeah, it is kind of refreshing.
I am starting to really like that combination because she's completely opposite in the way she sees Star Citizen to him.
Hmm.
And then sometimes they agree, and you're like, yeah, okay. But then sometimes she's like, nope. And he's like, but nope, but it's cool. It's nice to see.
Yeah,
That's gonna do it for this week's Stanton gossip. If you guys like it, like, subscribe. The numbers are going up. Thank you, whoever, wherever you came from. If it was Paul or Astropup, we appreciate that support. If you just found us randomly, amazing. Thank you for the subs and follow. Oh, sorry, not follows. Comments. There's a lot of comments lately. A lot of interesting conversations. I really enjoy waking up and like seeing all that. I know Master
totally.
does as well. He actually
Yeah.
replies to more than me,
Well,
but I read everything.
that's what I was going to say. Like, I really enjoy the conversations that have been happening in the comments lately, and because we have kind of dropped the ball this week and didn't bring a lot of content, if you guys have watched cool videos that we haven't mentioned or haven't seen or whatever, throw them in the comments because
Yeah,
we need shit to watch. We need shit to watch.
I agree. I agree. I really expect like a huge bump in content because we're getting some big things. Even without
Yeah.
like the game getting better, we're gonna get some news recent soon.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and like frankly 313 going live is gonna bring its own kind of
yeah,
its own content as well, even though the patch itself isn't necessarily super exciting. But yeah,
I agree. All right,
okay,
thanks for watching us or listening. Have a great rest of your day, and see you Sunday. Bye bye.
bye.